Live Alive is a remake of the classic Square game of the same name. This version of the game will likely be many people's first chance to experience this game's unique story and gameplay since, until the release of this remake in 2022, Live Alive was only available in Japan. The remake offers more than just slightly updated visual or quality of life features, it certainly has those things, but it also recreates the entire game using stunning 2D HD graphics. This art style blends 2D pixel art visuals with 3D backgrounds and environments. This allows the remake to maintain the art style of the original game while also making it look like something that came out on modern hardware.
I've got your back. Thank you.
Trials of Mana is a 3D remake of the third game in the Seiken Densetsu Mana series. It is a sequel to the critically acclaimed Super Nintendo RPG Secret of Mana. Trials of Mana was previously a Japan exclusive up until this remake's release in 2020. This remake takes the original game and brings it into the third and updates many of the game's systems and mechanics to be more in line with other action RPGs. This remake takes the complete opposite approach to Live Alive by mostly using the original as a reference and crafting a completely new experience on top of that. For some fans of the original, this might be blasphemous, but the original Trials of Mana is available via the Mana Collection on Switch for those wishing to experience the game in its original form. For those looking to experience one of Square's greatest RPGs with modern graphics and mechanics, the Trials of Mana remake won't leave you disappointed. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is an HD remake of the original game of the same name. This remake updates many of the game's character designs and art direction in general to bring it more in line with Xenoblade Chronicles 2's art style. The changes and improvements made to the original in this release really earn it the title of Definitive Edition. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition adds 2 new difficulty modes, a fashion gear system, improvements to the game's maps, improvements to the game's combat systems, and much more. This edition of the game allows players who missed out on the original game's Wii release to experience it in its best possible form. It also adds enough changes to make Xenoblade veterans return for a brand new playthrough. Dark Souls Remastered updates the genre-defining classic that is Dark Souls with updated visuals and a few quality-of-life improvements. This remaster retains all of the challenge of the original game's level design, and a small number of item location changes. This remaster also adds a new bonfire by Blacksmith Vamos, as well as adding the ability to swap covenants at any bonfire once obtained. This remaster gives players new to the Dark Souls series a great way to experience its origins. It's also a great choice for existing fans that want to take the Dark Souls experience on the go. Pokémon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX allows players to experience the 2 classic games in one package. Pokémon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX is a remake of the Pokémon Mystery Dungeon game for Game Boy Advance and the Mystery Dungeon game for the DS. This remake combines gameplay and story elements from both games in order to deliver the definitive Mystery Dungeon experience. This remake features updated graphics, sound, and controls, as well as a few new additions like new Pokémon and even Mega Evolution. The game's new watercolor art style allows fans who played the originals to experience these games in a whole new light. These remakes bring the fourth generation of Pokémon games into beautiful HD. Character models have been updated to 3D models, and extra lighting and visual effects have also been added to many locations throughout the game. The game also sports remixed music as well as updated online features. These remakes also add a few quality of life features to make the experience more enjoyable for new and returning players. These remakes are the perfect starting point for people looking to get into Pokémon for the first time, or fans of the original Diamond and Pearl games who want to experience a faithful yet updated version of the games. The World Ends With You. Final Remix is a remaster of The World Ends With You, which was originally released on the Nintendo DS. This remaster allows players to experience the dark story of The World Ends With You and all of its unique characters in HD. This version of The World Ends With You is considered the definitive version of the game thanks to its revamped combat system that makes the game more accessible, the inclusion of remixed music, and an extra chapter that adds even more to this fantastic story. The SEGA Ages version of Phantasy Star brings a piece of RPG history to modern audiences who own a Switch. This remasters features a plethora of new quality of life features that make the Genesis original completely obsolete. This remaster adds a speed-up function, a sound test, controller configuration, sound options, region options, and a new game mode called Ages Mode. The Ages Mode increases the amount of experience and money the player gets from random battles. This speeds up the game's grinding considerably and makes the experience feel much better paced. This version also adds extra UI elements like a dungeon map character status information. This remaster is the gold standard for how classic RPGs should be brought to modern audiences and is a must-play for RPG fans who own a Switch. Chrono Cross: The Radical Dreamers Edition is a remaster of the PlayStation 1 original by the same name. The remaster upgrades all of the 3D models in the game to HD. It also features new illustrations and other features not found in the original release, like an auto battle feature and the ability to turn random encounters off. This version of the game also includes the 1996 standalone game, Radical Dreamers. The Radical Dreamers story was inaccessible to Western audiences up until now. The story can be experienced through the included audio novel. Tales of Symphonia Remastered bring the classic GameCube action RPG to Switch, with updated HD visuals and gameplay improvements. The game's inclusion on Switch allows players to experience this critically acclaimed title at home or on the go. The game features 4-player local co-op, as well as the added content from the Japanese exclusive PlayStation 2 release. This remaster is perfect for fans of the Tales of series who want to replay Symphonia on modern hardware, or new players who want to get into the Tales of series but don't know where to start.
No way! You picked the wrong guy to mess with.